on YouTube channel The Western Lingua, and here success is the culture. So today in this session we are just going to cover the rules and regulations of number. So let's come to the board and let's cheer up and let's start this session. So what does rule number 7 says? If a noun ends in O, if a noun ends in O preceded by a vowel, then that can be formed plural by simply adding s to the singular. Again I am repeating. If a noun ends in O, if a noun ends in O preceded by a vowel, that can be formed plural by simply adding s to the singular. So let's understand it by example. According to the rule, it says that if a noun ends in O and that O is preceded by a vowel. So what are vowels? There are 5 kinds of vowel: A, E, I, O, U. So here the noun bamboo, bamboo is what? Bamboo is a noun and it ends in O, and before O here is a vowel. A, E, I, O, U. O is a vowel. Then it can be formed plural by simply adding s, just like bamboos. Again see to the next example. Cuckoo. C-U-C-K-O-O. So here again O is preceded by a vowel and O is again a vowel. So it can be also changed into plural by simply adding s. So it will become cuckoos. Now let's come to the next example. Then video. So here again O is preceded by what? A vowel, and E is also a vowel. So it can be also formed plural by simply adding s. Videos. So the next rule which I am going to teach you is very small fry to everyone. It means it is very quite common. So rule number 8 says that if a noun ends in F or FE, that can be formed plural by changing F or FE into VES. Again I am repeating. If a noun ends in F or FE, that can be formed plural by changing F or FE into VES. Now let's understand it by example. Here knife, K-N-I-F-E. So here noun knife ends in what? FE. So it can be formed plural by replacing FE into VES. So it will become what? Knives. K-N-I-V-E-S. Again wife. W-I-F-E. Wife. So here wife will become what? Wives. Again life. So life will become L-I-V-E-S. So it was a small fry to everyone. Now let's move to our next rule. Rule number 10. There are some nouns which ends in F, double F or FE. Okay? Again I am repeating. Please pay attention to this because these examples and these rules are very much important to those students who are preparing for SSC, CGL and all other competitive exam. Okay, so now let's come to the point. There are some nouns that end in. There are some nouns that end in F, double F or FE. That can be formed plural by simply adding s to the singular. Okay. So let's see the example. Here chief. So here noun chief ends with what? F. So it can be formed plural by simply adding s to the singular. So it will become like chiefs. Again cliff. It ends with what? It ends in double F. So it can be formed plural by adding again s. Now cafe. It will become cafe. Okay. So here it ends with what? Fe. So it is formed plural by simply adding s. Now let's come to this rule. Then serve. Then again we will add s to last. S after F, because here surf is ending with what? Here it is ending in F. So next rule, save. So it will become saves. Strike. Strike. It will become stripes. Okay. So there are also some other noun. Just for example, you can take. Just for example, from G there is gulf. 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 So here gulf ends in what? F. So we can form it plural as gulps. Okay. Now I think you all understood this rule. Now let's move to next rule. But guys, there are some nouns. There are only 4 nouns. There are only 4 nouns that can be formed plural by changing F or double F into VES or by simply adding S to the singular. Again I am repeating, this rule is also VVI rule. VVI rule, very important rule, and you will have to note down this rule in a copy because it will help you whether they are students of competition or whether they are students of school. Okay. So there are at least 4 nouns. There are at least 4 nouns that can be formed plural by changing F, double F into VES or by simply adding S to the singular. Okay, let's understand it by example. Dwarf. What is the spelling of dwarf? D-R-A-W-F. Dwarf. Dwarf means bona. Okay. So here dwarf. So you can see that I have only added S after F. So dwarf is that type of noun which is formed plural by simply adding S to the F. Now again, wharf, W-A-R-F, wharf. So in wharf we will have to replace F into VES. So it will become wharfs. Just like that, hoof. You will have to add S after F, then it will become hoops. Again, scarf. So in scarf you will have to remove F into VES. So this was for the today's session. In our next session we will again discuss about the rules because number is such a very big chapter. So till then, bye bye, stay home and stay safe and happy learning. Jai Hind.